So for the last part of our video, we're going to now model the gutter on our fascia board, and then we're going to model this doorknob using the sweep command on the gutter and then the revolve command on our doorknob. So before that, at the end of our lecture, you're going to use the sweep command to create three-dimensional objects by moving a cross-sectional profile along a defined path, develop complex 3D forms using profiles and guide paths to model architectural and decorative elements with varying geometries, apply the revolve command to generate three-dimensional solids by creating or rotating a two-dimensional profile around a specified axis, create rotational objects such as doorknobs, columns, balusters, and other lathe-formed components using the revolve command, and lastly, select appropriate 3D modeling techniques by distinguishing when to sweep or revolve based on the geometry and design requirements of an object. So to start, let's first create this profile here when we are going to use the sweep command to create our gutter around our fascia board. So we're going to create that, or just copy that. You can do that. I'm going to copy, and we're going to create a line here since this is the end of our, this is where we are going to connect our gutter. This is the end of our fascia board. So we're going to delete this one. We're going to trim these. Oops. Going to delete these and then delete this one or delete this one. All right. So since this is open, this is a gutter, we're going to model it like this. Or if you're not going to show it, for example, you're working on uh, slow hardware of your your computer is slow or your laptop is slow, we will not model this further. But if you want it to be detailed, we can have it this one opened or open. Then you can just offset this one. If it doesn't work, we're working on a different UCS. But just to make things simpler, we're just going to copy this and then rotate this on its original UCS axis. So we're going to 3DR this, put this back on its original alignment. So this is where we're going to make our section. So we can use polyline. We can PL this here, here. And then when you're going to use a polyline for a curved profile, we're going to use arc A, enter, and second point. So we're going to click the second point, going to click the midpoint of that profile, and then we're going to click here, and then again, second point for the other curved part, and then we will go back to line here. So escape, we're going to move this profile and we're going to offset this at around, for example, 5 millimeters or probably 10, just to highlight that. And then PL this again, and PL or L, you can use that. And to close that, we're going to use region, REG. So we know that it's a working profile. Then we will go back to our isometric, And then this one, we're going to rotate, 3D rotate this one. Click our base, and then click our rotation. Then we now have something aligned with the profile of our gutter. Now we're going to use this or this, anything you can use as long as it will define the path of our sweep. So we're going to move this here at the center or anywhere as long as it's not on the corner, because it's not when you are going to close the gutter, it's not going to properly close the model if it's at the corner. So move it anywhere on the side, and then we will now create the polyline or line. Oh no, polyline I mean, because it's going, when you're going to create a path, it should be, it can be a line, but if you're going to use a path that's going to bend or to have other corners or other sides, it's better to use polyline. So PL, we start here, and then we go around here, 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 and going back. So this is now our, let's just delete that so that we know. So this is now our path. So when we're going to model this, to we're going to use sweep. You command SW, you select the object based on your command prompt, enter, and then you select the path, you select this polyline. It's going to now create the gutter. So this is what I'm telling you. If we made the, if we made it here, it's not going to connect. That's why we need the profile to be at the side, not at the corner. So we're now going to move this gutter to our fascia board here. There we have it. We now have a fascia 3D orbit, and we have an opened, I mean gutter, not fascia, open gutter. Okay, so for this one, our doorknob or whatever object that we need to revolve around it, for example, a goblet, glass, or a lathe, a baluster, we can use the revolve command. Just make sure to create first the profile, just like with your gutter. We made the profile. So we're going to create the profile using the top view. So if this is the circle part of our doorknob, I think this is 50. So if it's, if we're going to do the section, this is 50, or I think this is 100. Sorry. So this is 100 millimeters, and then you're going to create an arc and another one here. For example, we're going to have a 250. Oops, that's too long for a doorknob. 150. Let's try 150. Let's try 100. 100. We're just going to design a doorknob. So let's make this a little arched, and this one a little curved. So we're going to fillet this with sort of a radius of 10 millimeters. Mhm. And then create a line here. Then another line here, for example, this is 50, and we have 15. Then we're going to fillet this, rounding the edges also. This, and we're going to make this go back at, there we have it. So if you have this profile, this is the section of our doorknob. If you can region this, then it's good. Yeah, we have region this. But if not, you will use polyline again and trace all the edges or the sides. Right. Oh, let's just make this a little bit curved. Undo. Let's fillet this at around with a radius of 5. This one here. Then let's region this again. Region. And we now have the section of our um, doorknob. So where is it? Here. All right. Then for your revolve command, let's just regenerate this. RE. Okay. For your revolve command, you're going to use the REV command, revolve. Then you're going to select the object, this one, and you're going to select the axis where it's going to revolve. So since this is a section, it's going to revolve on this axis. So click on one side and click on the other side, and it's going to revolve depending on the value that you're going to put in here. So if it's going to be one half, you're going to put 180. So since this is a doorknob, Control Z, we're going to go back, REV, select the axis, and oops, sorry, REV, select the object, enter, select the axis, and 360. Yeah. So we'll have our doorknob. I think the section here, this should not be like big like this, but anyway, we've done this one. We're just going to rotate, and we're going to move this, look for the center around, oops, too much, 3DO. Move this, find the center, and find the midpoint of our door, and we'll move it a little bit to the left, 100 probably, and then we have our doorknob using the command revolve. All right, so I think our doorknob is a little bit big, but basically that's how you create your doorknob. All right, so just a bonus, if you want to make your object open for like 30 degrees, you can group this. But for example, this one, we're going to go to shade mode, to the wireframe, and you want this to open at around 30 degrees. You can command RO, rotate, or 3DO if it doesn't work. Oops. 3DO, oops, I mean sorry, 3DR. Rotate this at the X and Y axis and then around 30 degrees. So going back to shade mode, it's now a little bit open. Right? So I think that ends this demo on how to create your model in AutoCAD. So simple. I think the thing that's a little bit difficult is around when you're creating the roof. But when you are familiar with the command, it's basically simple. And you're going to be able to create, because the idea is there, you have the commands. So you're just going to apply it with, for example, 3-story building, three-story residential house, or a villa, basically the commands are the same, right? So thank you for watching this series of video tutorials. I hope you learned, um, or I hope you're able to apply this in creating your 3D model, or AutoCAD 3D model for your house, right? So thank you and goodbye.